At the height of the celebration, as crystal glasses clinked and golden lights spilled from a champagne fountain stacked like a glittering tower, Adrian Cross looked every bit the billionaire emperor. His guests laughed, whispered, and toasted to his $23 billion empire, unaware that beneath his tailored smile, his kingdom was crumbling. No one noticed the quiet figure at the edge of the room, Lena Torres, a maid in a black uniform balancing trays of drinks. To the powerful, she was invisible, just another servant. Yet Lena's sharp eyes missed nothing. A graduate in economics whose life had been derailed by circumstance, she had been forced into obscurity, polishing glass and sweeping away secrets others carelessly left behind. Adrian was bleeding money. Lena had seen the subtle signs long before anyone else. Artwork quietly vanishing from the walls, sudden dismissals of long-serving staff, and the muted panic in whispered phone calls about a European deal that everyone in the press praised as his boldest move yet. From the shadows, she scribbled her own notes, analyzing the fragments of conversations, numbers, and patterns she pieced together. And on this night, as the orchestra played and Adrian raised his glass, Lena overheard the most telling slip. A private call with one of Adrian's lawyers confirming that the deal was rigged with hidden clauses designed to topple him. Around her, the wealthy guests gossiped like vultures circling a dying beast. "He's reckless," one sneered. "He gambled everything on this." The arrival of Adrian's longtime rival, Malcolm Vane, only sharpened the air. Malcolm thrived on others' destruction, his presence alone a threat. Lena, while clearing glasses, noticed confidential papers left half-exposed on a desk. Her heart raced as she recognized the buried trap clauses that would let Malcolm take control once Adrian inevitably stumbled. She tucked the knowledge away, invisible once again. The empire collapsed faster than anyone expected. Within days, the European deal crumbled publicly, the stock nosedived, and Adrian faced humiliation before his furious board. During a heated confrontation, when accountants fumbled explanations, Lenoff, all people spoke up. "Your depreciation schedules are deliberately flawed," she said without thinking, her voice cutting through the chaos. The room fell silent. For the first time, Adrian truly looked at her. A maid who shouldn't have existed in his world had just seen what his entire team had missed. Desperate but intrigued, Adrian pulled her into his confidence. She demanded respect, not servitude, and in a moment that shocked them both, he agreed. They set up a hidden war room in his penthouse. Adrian supplied resources and access. Lena supplied brilliance and perspective. She predicted Malcolm's moves with eerie precision, identifying weaknesses in his network, exposing his over-reliance on a fragile supplier in Asia. Slowly, Adrian realized he had built an empire without ever actually listening until now. Small victories came, but the world fought back. When rumors spread about Adrian's maid-turned-strategist, the media pounced, branding Lena the cleaning lady CFO. Headlines mocked her, and strangers dug into her past, dragging her family through the mud. An anonymous offer came. $500,000 to disappear, to remain invisible forever. But Lena, whose entire life had been defined by being unseen, refused. She would not crawl back into the shadows. The climax came on live television. Malcolm and Adrian were to debate the company's future. But Adrian barely spoke. He let Lena take the stage. The audience jeered at first, skeptical of a maid daring to face a titan. Yet within minutes, her calm, razor-sharp dismantling of Malcolm's schemes left the room stunned. She revealed the web of shell companies, the Luxembourg fraud, the lies Malcolm had spun. Under pressure, his arrogance betrayed him, and he blurted out truths he meant to hide. Cameras caught everything. The SEC opened an investigation before the night ended. For the first time, the crowd didn't laugh at Lena. They cheered. Employees saw her as one of their own. Investors recognized the mind no one had cared to see. Adrian offered her a permanent role not as his servant, but as chief strategy officer. Their partnership transformed not just the company, but its culture. A new initiative was launched to elevate unheard voices, to ensure no Lena Torres would ever be ignored again. But Malcolm wasn't finished. Weeks later, he attempted a hostile takeover with shadowy backers. In a tense boardroom showdown, Lena laid out evidence of blackmail and offshore manipulation, flipping even Adrian's fiercest doubters to her side. The FBI burst in before the vote could conclude, arresting Malcolm in front of the board he thought he controlled. Lena, once a silent maid, had orchestrated the downfall of the untouchable. 6 weeks later, the European deal was signed anew, this time on Lena's terms. She stood beside Adrian, co-leading negotiations, no longer in uniform, but in command. A new fund was launched to invest in overlooked talent, proof that brilliance could come from anywhere. As reporters shouted questions, Lena thought of her brother Marcus, a mechanic with ideas bigger than his garage, and smiled. The true revolution was never just about saving a company. It was about rewriting who gets to be seen, who gets to matter. And so, Lena Torres, once invisible, left the world with a question it could no longer ignore. How many other geniuses remain unseen, silenced by the blindness of power? The controversy burned on. Was Adrian a visionary for elevating her, or simply a desperate man saved by luck? The debate raged, but one truth stood clear: Lena would never be invisible again.